Those stories and more at 5. In a moment, our magazine.
I brought you a little going-away present, sweetheart.
Little Debbie oatmeal cream pies, Swiss rolls, my favorite.
Well, I'm glad. It wasn't easy choosing between all those Little Debbies.
You shouldn't have.
Why not? Little Debbies are a great value.
Oatmeal cream pie?
Don't mind if I do. I think your plane is taking off without you.
Little Debbie snack cakes. Great taste, great variety, great value, too. Little Debbie has a snack for you.
Ah, you too, sweetheart.
Believe it or not, you're looking at leftovers. And if you've never had leftovers this good, maybe you've never had our chicken, Young and Tender brand. For along with our juicy Young and Tender brand chicken, you can get juicy recipes. One for when you bring our chicken home, and one for what's left over. There's just one problem. With Young and Tender brand chicken, you might not have enough left over for leftovers. Young and Tender brand chicken from Goldkist.
Yoo-hoo, doggy.
Yeah, that's right. We're those crazy Swedish chefs here to put a smorgasbord in your bowl.
The new Smorgasburger. First we chop the cheese and chicken. Next we grind the beef and liver.
Then we mix it all together.
Now you've got the Smorgasburger. Smorgasburger. Ja, das ist the Smorgasburger.
Chicken, cheese, beef, and liver.
Ja, das ist the Smorgasburger.
New Smorgasburger from Kennel Ration. It's like a smorgasbord in a bowl.
Smorgasburger!
Pulse 13's First News, today at 5.
Our very special Woman of the Hour, Ann Jillian. Laurie Burroughs grad makes seafood sexy. The new TV season, What's Hot, What's Not, and the 10 least known phobias. Yes, we've got a terrific show today, and we're going to start it off with introducing today's Woman of the Hour. And we all know her because she's as versatile as she is vivacious. And now we also know that she is very courageous. Earlier this year, she was struck with cancer and underwent a double mastectomy. But she's back. She's working on her new TV series. It's not new. It's renewed. It's a Living. She was recently nominated for an Emmy Award for her performance on the miniseries Ellis Island. And she has something to tell us all. Please welcome Ann Jillian. Oh, that's it. Oh.
Oh, my goodness, you're wonderful, thank you.
That was totally unexpected, but is so terrific you would do that. And you have every right to do it, and you deserve it.
Thank you.
Tell me about some of the response that you've had.
Oh, my goodness.
To going public.
To going public?
Yes.
I had a tremendous amount of mail, an awful lot of the mail, well, over 40,000 pieces of mail, and they're still coming in. But one of the main things that I have noticed in these pieces of mail is that I've had encouragement about talking about what has happened and making people aware, women especially, of course, about early detection. And that because of the position that I was in, because I was visible, that I was able to bring more attention to a subject that we get slightly squeamish about. And I think that it was something that I felt that I really had to do. It was a duty because I was in that position.
Illness, unfortunately, among the show business community, is like a plague. People don't want to know from it, and some people will actually say that their careers were hurt by certain illnesses that were made public, and yet there was never any doubt in your mind about this.
No, there was never any doubt. I had to go back to work. I knew that. I knew that that was the best therapy in the world, to go right back to work. And I thought to myself that, good heavens, if I was going to be stopped by this, for heaven's sake, I'm just like anybody else out there. If I can help people out there to feel that they are not going to be discriminated against because they've had a disease of some sort that they're over, you know, and I really felt that it was incumbent upon me to trudge right on ahead.
Well, you have trudged, and you're doing it so successfully, magnificently, and you look wonderful.
Well, I've gained a few pounds. Well, what are you going to do?
You said that in an article.
Yes.
But that isn't because you're
ladies and gentlemen, I've done it again.
Yeah. But you're not at the icebox in the middle of the night.
Oh, well, no. Yes, well, no, I do. You know, the doctor told me that I should keep my strength up. The chemotherapy tends to put on some poundage on you anyway. And so what I dress in vertical stripes now, and I don't worry about the diet anymore. There'll be plenty of time for dieting, I guess, later on. But right now, I'm just keeping my strength up.
You chose chemotherapy. That was elective on your part.
That was
voluntary.
It was not
required, yes.
Yeah, no. I did not have to do it. For me, it was protective treatment, and I knew that it was going to be uncomfortable. I knew the possibilities of what were going to happen, some hair loss or weight gain and very severe nausea. Yes. Some people don't have that. It works differently on different systems, but I do get sick, and it's uncomfortable. But in comparison to what other people go through, I'm having very little. I'm just kind of a representative, I guess, of the many thousands of people who are dealing with it courageously.
Now, can we go back in time to when you discovered the lump, the first time you discovered the lump? And it's a bizarre tale of once it's there, then it's not there, then it's there. And bring us up to date.
What happened with me, it happened just basically like it happens to most women. They, upon examining themselves in the morning, which you should do every single morning, get really acquainted with your body so that you know the different changes. I happened to notice a peculiar lump about the size of a pea in my breast, and it was stone hard, as they call it. And I went to my gynecologist, who said, yes, you ought to get a mammogram. So I went and I had a mammogram, and they said that it appeared to be not malignant, but you should go check it out anyway. So my gynecologist sent me to a surgeon, and the surgeon then said, Anne, after great deliberation and after checking it out, and this was in my left breast, they said, he said, if you were part of my family, I would tell you to get a biopsy. And of course, I said, okay, I'll take that into consideration. But always wanting to have a choice, I wanted to have a second opinion. So I did. I went and I had a second opinion. And the results of those tests were sent to a doctor that I had not involved at this particular time. It was my internist. And I wanted to see what she had to say. And she said, no, why don't we wait a while and you know, watch it, you know. So this was at a very busy time in my career, and it's exactly what I wanted to hear. Sure. If I had had perhaps a second one say, yes, get a biopsy, I would have done that then, but it was something that I wanted to hear, and I chose to do that. 2, 3, 4 months go by, and I'm noticing that although I'm watching my left breast, which is really not changing too much, now all of a sudden I'm getting a change in my right breast. And rather than becoming the usual texture of a soft and a firm breast as every month goes by, mine kept firm and kept getting firmer until when I was working out, I noticed that I could not lay down on my stomach and without feeling terribly uncomfortable. So I went once again back to my gynecologist. Yes, definitely you should go get a mammogram again. This time they said, we want you to seriously go over to your surgeon and talk about getting that biopsy again. This time my husband and I went in, and we went to a second opinion once again. The second opinion told me that it was not just one single mastectomy that I would have to get, but I would have to get a bilateral mastectomy.
Now, was the original mammogram done on both breasts? Or just the one you suspected?
The original mammogram was done on both breasts. My tissue was very dense, so the original one, they couldn't really tell too much, so I went on ahead and did an ultrasound, which is picturing the breasts almost like through a computer, through water. It's not painful or anything like that. But they compare one breast with the other. The very first time that I went in, there was nothing wrong with my right breast. Which was very strange in my particular case. Although I had the most common form of breast cancer, the growth grew uncommonly fast. And this is not the usual way that it happens, but
in what, a space of 5 months?
Within a space of about, actually, 3 to 4 months.
3 to 4 months.
Is what it was.
And the doctors say that's highly unusual.
That really was quite highly unusual, the growth of it in the right breast. My left breast remained basically the same, but it was the growth in the right breast that was unusual.
Well, you know, hindsight is terrific, but going back, if they had done a biopsy at that time, if you had chosen to do that, would we be sitting here talking about this?
Interestingly enough, I think that since it was the left breast that was involved originally, they would have taken a biopsy there, had to have done whatever they had to have done, whether at that point it would have been a lumpectomy or whether it would have been
left the right one alone.
A mastectomy. They would have left the right one alone, and 3 or 4 months later, I probably would have been back once again with a second operation that would have been necessary. So as it happens, I guess it happened so that it happened all at once. Yeah, I must say I was very, very lucky. And God bless the surgeon's hands.
So you're faced now with a double, or bilateral, as you said.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there with your husband, Andy, who's the Rock.
A Rock of Gibraltar.
And we're going to meet Andy tomorrow. But what goes through your mind? What do you talk about preparing for an operation like that?
My husband and I? Well, needless to say, I wasn't any different, I think, than any other woman. I was extremely shocked, but then not so shocked. I mean, the shock came like this, and then I said, okay, now what are we going to have to do? And my main concern was, how am I going to be the wife that in 100% of the way that I always felt I wanted to be to my husband? How is he going to deal with this? And my husband was tremendous, because he would take me in his arms, and he knew the agony that I was going through at the time, even though, of course, I tried to keep a stiff upper lip and everything like that, but there were moments when I broke down. And he would take me in his arms, and he'd say, you know something, you and your breasts were great, but you're greater. And if it's a question about losing you and losing your breasts, he says, is there any question at all? So I think that anybody who has any fear, any woman who has any fear at all, will find out exactly how much your husbands love you and care about you.
He is indeed a terrific person, a terrific husband, and we're going to meet him tomorrow, and we'll continue the story.
My huggy bear.
And bring it up to date. But right now, we've got a whole show to do today, Miss Jillian.
Okay.
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 And in just a moment, Ann and I are going to be joined by Dr. Mel Silverstein to talk about what you can do to detect breast cancer and just how important one phone call can be to your doctor. So stay right there. We'll be right back.
During the course of the year, the average person spends up to 2.8 weeks in the bathroom. That's why there's Aurora. It makes bathrooms more beautiful. Aurora's soft embossed pastels can add subtle beauty to any bathroom. Aurora's colorful prints, a more lively feeling. If you're going to spend 2.8 weeks anywhere, you ought to make it as beautiful as possible. Aurora, it makes bathrooms more beautiful.
I'm not being lazy. I am demonstrating the custom-built Contour Chair Lounge to you. Look at Contour's special body-conforming shape. See how your head, back, legs, and feet are always supported? Contour was designed with the help of an orthopedic surgeon to cradle you in comfort, just like astronauts' chairs do. Most ordinary chairs force your weight onto your hips, pinch off circulation, and cause muscle strain and discomfort. But Contour is different. It's custom built to your exact body specifications. That's why it's so amazingly comfortable. And Contour adjusts. You can raise your legs above your heart or sit fully upright at the touch of a button. Get this free catalog that describes the Contour Chair Lounge. Call the toll-free number to get your free catalog by mail, no obligation.
Call toll-free 1-800-228-5600, 1-800-228-5600. Call 1-800-228-5600 toll-free, 1-800-228-5600.
Look to the low-price leader, Cash and Carry, for reduced prices on these quality meat products from Lykes Brothers. Lykes 1-pound bologna, thick-sliced, regular or beef. Lykes 12-ounce meat or beef, plumper wieners. They're great on the grill. How about Lykes family favorites, smoked sausage and kielbasa? Or try Lykes Brothers boneless party hams, ideal for sandwiches or a dinner meal. Shop for Florida's favorite Lykes Brothers and get good food at a good price. Cash and Carry, unquestionably the low-price leader.
We're back with our Woman of the Hour, Ann Jillian, who has just shared with us her fight and victory over cancer. We're now joined by Dr. Mel Silverstein, surgical oncologist and medical director of the Breast Center in Van Nuys, California. Doctor, the first question, if you could perhaps explain why Ann's cancer was so unusual, the growth of it.
If I could explain that, I'd be in Stockholm getting the Nobel Prize. Her situation is obviously very unusual. Less than 2% of all breast cancer is seen under the age of 35. Less than 10% is bilateral, both sides. So this is a very unusual situation. As a general rule, breast cancer tends to be a very slow-growing process, and that makes it quite favorable. In this particular situation, it's absolutely impossible to know why it grew so fast. It may have actually grown slower than you think, and it may have been that it was there and just imperceptible because it was large and growing very slowly. So it's really impossible to say why it grew at that speed.
But there was no other choice other than the double.
Well, again, it's hard to say. There certainly have been many patients with both-sided breast cancer that we've treated with conservation therapy, using X-ray therapy. It's a lot more complicated. There are certain rules for patients, such as if the lump is too large, by the time you take the lump out, if you've deformed the breast, then there's no real point to breast conservation, and that's what I understand is really the situation here.
Yes, my tumors were too large. My right breast was practically 3/4 of the way overtaken by a tumor, so it was really quite large. There was no conservation.
Now, you did personal exam at home. Was that a regular part?
Well, yes, absolutely. And I think the doctor will agree with me that that's a very, very important part of early detection, getting to know yourself. And that is why I have never been lax in that. And I noticed that, and that's what led me, to go to the doctor once again after I just had a checkup anyway.
What about mammograms? Under what conditions are those? Is there an age involved here?
Generally, we like to see at the age of 35 once-a-year mammograms. And if people have a family history, we'll do it even, we'll start at age 30.
Doctor, I have to say something, though, and I don't know how, you said that it was 2% that's younger than 35. In many of the 40,000 letters, half of which were victims, most of them were victims that were younger than 35, younger than 30. As a matter of fact, I have some teenagers. Myself, when I went to have a prosthesis fitted, I sat down across from a young girl who was in a school uniform and doing her homework, and I thought that she was waiting for her mother. And they called her in. So there are too many cases that I am beginning to see that once you have breasts, once you begin to develop breasts, it seems that this is a very real problem, and we don't know why today it is, but it's a very real problem.
Well, the age range is getting younger. And it's getting younger because mammography is finding earlier and smaller cancers. You're not a good example of it because it didn't really see yours, but you're the unusual person.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, if 100 women come into our office with breast cancer, 96 of them will find on mammography.
Absolutely.
Only miss a few. You happen to be one that is missed. Our office also is skewed towards a younger age group. Just the way the letters you get, if I'm 35 and I have breast cancer, I might write you. If I'm 65 and I have breast cancer, I probably won't write you. And so I think what happens is there's a selection process.
They did, though. I had a whole range of them, but I'm just saying that I would hate to have young women out there become lax in a sense of false security to think that they have to wait until 30 or 35 before they start to check themselves out and take it seriously.
Oh, no, I agree with you. In terms of breast self-examination, we should make one point clear in that it's better to do it once a month, about a week after your period. If you do it on a daily basis, it's easy to miss things.
Thank you. We'll be right back. When we come back, we'll visit Leslie Caron at her home in Paris.
A remarkable drop, so sheer and light it begins to penetrate the moment it touches you. The drop of Oil of Olay. Feel it replenish youthful fluids, giving your skin a delightful vibrance, keeping it soft, supple, and younger looking. It is just a drop, but it is the one that 50 million women around the world believe in every day, because it works. Oil of Olay, it can help keep you looking younger too.
It's here now. The store where you'll find everything to make your yard more beautiful. It's here now. America's premier lawn, garden, and craft center. Come here now. See how to decorate your home as beautifully on the outside as you do on the inside, at prices you'd expect from discount stores. Come in now to a store unlike any you've ever seen before. Frank's Nursery and Crafts.
You can count on Furman Chevrolet where it counts most for you, at the bottom line. Now through September, that promise goes double. You get not only Furman year-end discounts, but also low GMAC financing on many new 85 Chevys, on America's favorite, the Cavalier, or the high-performance Camaros, or the smart, precise Celebrity, or on fantastic new Astro cargo vans, and more from Furman Chevrolet on Adamo Drive, 1/4 mile east of US 301.
Coming up tonight on the Pulse 13 News Hour.
A Pinellas judge orders Hillsborough jail crowding reduced. It means many accused criminals must be released.
Federal disaster assistance offices are opening up today in Pinellas and Manatee counties to offer aid in the wake of Hurricane Elena.
How much weight can a land snail pull? These elementary school students found out.
All tonight at 6 on the Pulse 13 News Hour.
Have I been standing up too close or back too far?
Well, that's Louis Jourdain, and of course he, along with everybody else in 1958, fell in love with a Parisian ingenue named Gigi, played of course by French actress Leslie Caron. 3 decades later, Leslie's passion for Paris continues, and we visited her at her home to conclude our Paris fantasy tour.
Gigi, am I a fool without a mind, or have I merely been too blind to realize?
In 1958, millions of American filmgoers fell in love with a French actress named Leslie Caron. She starred in dozens of films in the 50s and 60s, and last year she was still dancing on stage in the musical On Your Toes when she paid us a visit in January and was charming as ever. Today, Leslie Caron lives and works in Paris, and she invited us there to show us her home, her city, and her new career as a writer.
I'm interested in this new profession of mine, writing. I did start a long time ago. I mean, you don't start writing suddenly, and you don't write the first book in the first 6 months. My first published thing was a book of short stories published by Doubleday, and that was very, very thrilling to do. When you write, the best comes out. Everything you've lived through, all the experiences and everything you've read, and plus your imagination takes over. And I'm surprised myself.
Leslie Caron is full of surprises, and so is her home. She's surrounded by memories of her film career, and she's proud of her valuable art collection, which includes paintings of her own.
I started painting when my children were very little, and I was then married to Peter Hall in England. He got the job at Stratford-on-Avon as director of the Royal Shakespeare Theatre. And I realized I was going to be stuck in the country, no matter how interesting that countryside is. And I thought I must devise some ways of keeping myself occupied and something interesting to do. So that's when I started painting.
For actress living in Paris offers constant inspiration.
Paris is essentially civilized. I think it's the best city in the world to live in, bar none. There are so many pleasant distractions. At the end of the day, you can reward yourself with a wonderful meal in the restaurant, and that's what most of us do. The French eat out at least once a week. Some eat out practically every night. Quite a lot of people do. I remember very well when I arrived in Hollywood, I suddenly realized that I had been raised in royal gardens, as everybody else has. Le Luxembourg is a royal garden. It's the garden of, it's the park of a palace. And I thought this was the privilege of everyone in the world. Doesn't everyone have a royal garden to play balloon in as a child and to throw their little boats in the pond?
From her childhood in Paris to many happy years in Hollywood, Leslie Caron is now back in the city that she loves.
Every day we all cross a bridge once, and it's always the most beautiful picture, even on dull days. No, I'd never get jaded about the beauty of Paris.
Leslie, thank you very much, and thanks to everyone in our French Fantasy Tour. Now, here's what's coming up next.
In a minute, I'll tell you about my family's fight back after my sister was murdered.
Your food dollars go further when you shop with the Low Price Leader. And now with thousands of reduced prices, you can enjoy these cash and carry key buys. 34.5-ounce Fresh Start laundry detergent with extra stain fighting power. Dynamo liquid laundry detergent in the 64-ounce bottle. And 22-ounce Palmolive dishwashing liquid softens hands while you do dishes. Shop for everyday lower prices on the items you use most often. At Cash and Carry, unquestionably the Low Price Leader.
This is Vincent Price, bringing you the whole wide, wonderful world. As one traveler to another, did you ever notice an unsold seat on an airplane? Or an unsold cabin on a cruise ship? Now, as a member of Discount Travel International, you can buy that unsold travel space and save up to 60% off the regular price. While everyone else travels at full fare rates, DTI members pay only a fraction of the regular rate for the same trip and the same guaranteed reservations. And right here at home, DTI members pay only half price at America's leading hotels. So before you go anywhere, call now for free information about Discount Travel International, where the world is on sale every day of the year.
For the free travel information that Vincent Price spoke about, call 800-345-6789. That's 800-345-6789.
For your special recipes, add the special ingredient, fresh, all-natural, shredded and grated cheese from Sargento.
It's the model game show, The Price is Right.
Marianne is the winner. Marianne wins, and she wins big.
You enjoy it in the morning with Bob Barker. Now there's an extra half hour of The Price is Right with Tom Kennedy. Weekdays at 5:30 on Big 13.
Guests of Our Magazine stay at the Beverly Garland Howard Johnson Hotel in North Hollywood, close to Universal Studios, where they will enjoy a country club setting featuring pool, tennis courts, cocktail lounge, and 24-hour restaurant and room service. Ten years ago, Valerie Collins' sister Maria was brutally murdered. When the story was released in a book, Valerie was incensed that the murderer would profit from the sale of his story. So she hired an attorney who sued the publisher, the author, and the murderer, and she won. She and her attorney, Diane Luciana, are